So I was going to start this video, and then I had an idea. Why not do a walk-on intro? Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Continuing the Halloween reviews, Halloween TV show reviews, a TV episode, Halloween TV episode reviews. I'll get it right. For Halloween Horror Month, we are talking about the Lizzie McGuire episode, Night of the Day of the Dead. Yeah. With it sort of being a parody of Night of the Living Dead, the Day of the Dead sort of thing, but also it's about the Day of the Dead, Day of the Dead. Dias de los Muertos, which they call El Dios de los Muertos in this, and I don't think that's right, but I'm not Spanish, so I wouldn't know. Or Mexican, I'm not Hispanic, that's what I'm looking for. But yes, Halloween episode. I don't really need the fan on, I just forgot to turn it off. I'll leave it. So, the episode revolves around, I didn't give a synopsis for the other one, but I'll give one for this one. Plot crunch, as they would say in Movie Dumpster. There's a plot crunch. Revolves around a Halloween party at the school. And Kate, who is the bully character. So, that's right, I have to explain the show. If you don't know what Lizzie McGuire is, it's kind of hard to explain. I refer you to my best, my video I did on the Disney shows I grew up with. It's kind of hard to explain. It's basically, we follow Lizzie McGuire through middle school. Middle school is what I said. Middle school. Interesting point of fact that I didn't realize is that I didn't realize till later that Hilary Duff and I are the same age. If I had realized that then, I would have realized that she's actually older playing younger here. Because, like, when we get to the Lizzie McGuire movie, they're like, she's only supposed to be... Because they have this whole thing, it's basically like the Sabrina the Teenage Witch movie where she's in Rome with this guy that she meets, and where it's like, she's just going... She graduates middle school in that movie and is going to go straight to high school. So she's 13, 14, depending on what part of the thing. And she's going around with this guy. But the actress was really like 17 at the time. As was I in 2004. So, 2003. 2004 I was 18. No, 2004 I was 17. So, yeah. Actually, I think she's 86, actually. The year. I think she's actually a year older than me. Actually, now that I think about it. But, yeah. I now need to make sure. Hold on. Click. Click. Yeah, that kind of comes into play with the movie, but not here. I guess they can pass for middle schoolers. I guess it works. They do that, though. They cast older actors to play. At least they were still kids. Her. Elle, you idiot. Hilary Duff. No, she was born in 87. Okay. September of 87. So, yeah. No, so she'd been 16 going on 17 then. When this McGuire movie come out? 2003. Nah, yeah, she'd be 16. Right? 15? Hold on, I'm trying to think. I turned 16 in 2003, right? So she would be 15 going on 16. There. Ay. When that movie came out. So, that's weird. The movie says 2003, but the show went to 2004. So I'm guessing, like, even though the movie was technically the finale, the show Yeah, the show went till February 2004, but I don't think that's weird. That is really weird. Like, hold on. I'm trying to look through the January 2003, February. Oh, they just aired one episode in February, which is probably confusing as to why. I don't know. But no, because like the other episodes aired after the movie, but they're not. Was the first? So the movie came out in May 2nd, and episode aired in May 16th. But I don't know if they were reference. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So we're just basically following Lizzie as a teenager, and it's kind of girly, but I don't know. I liked it. It was funny. It was funny growing up. It was funny. I kind of want to talk about a Christmas episode when we get to December. December, not December, because Christmas episodes don't count. Anyway, so this particular episode aired in season 1 as episode 24. Yeah. Halloween. Yeah. Those of you who don't know, there was supposed to be a reboot of this show, actually. Back when Disney Plus was first getting started, they wanted to do a version of this for Disney Plus. And then Hilary Duff got into arguments with Disney executives because Disney wanted to make it kid-friendly and stuff like that. They probably wanted to do like you did with every other reboot and have it focus on her kids. And she wanted it to be more like a... I think she described it like an Ally McBeal type thing where she's like all grown up and it's more adult orientated, and Disney didn't want that, so they just went... They split and they didn't get that. I would have been for her version because I'm sick of, let's reboot your favorite child TV show and we're going to do it. They have kids and we're following their kids now. I'm getting sick of it. They did it with Boy Meets World, or Girl Meets World. They rebooted Boy Meets World, That's So Raven, and Wizards of Waverly Place. They made it about the characters' kids. I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of it. We're going to do this. We're going to follow the kids. And no. We want to follow more of the characters we grew up with. But it's going on a kids' network. I get it. But this is Disney Plus. Hell, you could have transferred it to Hulu. And given her the show. Put it on Hulu now that things, you know? I don't know. But anyway. So we focus on Lizzie McGuire. Played by Hilary Duff. And then her two friends, Miranda, played by Lelaine, Miranda Sanchez, I found out her last name is here, and Gordo, played by Adam, not Lambert, what is it? Adam, it's not Adam Lambert. Lamberg, I think it is, Adam Lamberg. Adam Lamberg, yeah. And her little brother, Nat, played by Jake Thomas, and then her two parents, Joe and Sam, played by Hallie Todd, and Robert Carradine, brother of John Carradine, brother of Bill. Is it John Carradine? No, that's their dad. David Carradine. There we go. And yes, it's the guy from Revenge of the Nerds. And Mom's got it with a vampire. He was the vampire hunter guy. Anyway. So, we start with Matt is all excited to go trick-or-treating, but he's told You're not going trick or treating this year, son. You're gonna go to the Halloween party at Lizzie's school. And once you find out what the adults actually have planned, the B plot is that they want to have a romantic evening, but trick or treaters keep getting away. I'm like, nah, no. You just didn't want to take him trick or treating, and you pawned him off on his older sister. That is bad parenting. Okay, that is. It's also smart parenting, but it's also bad. No, whatever. So Miranda wants to celebrate Dias de los Muertos with Halloween. Kate, who is somehow in charge of the party, I don't know. Is she the student body president? I don't know. Oh, Kate, I should mention, is Lizzie's rival and everything. She also has a crush on a boy named Ethan, but he's not in this episode, so we're not worried about him. And Kate is a bitch. Lizzie wants to be the vampire queen at this party, and Kate says, okay, you could do that, but you have to clean out the janitor's closet, where the dungeon's going to be. And she's in there with Gordo, and they're going to clean this out, and I'm looking at this, I'm like, how the hell are you going to dress up this janitor's closet? There's a slop sink in there. I know what it's called, that's my profession. There's a slop sink in there, there's like chemicals and shit. How are you going to be able to dress that? I don't know. But she convinces Gordo to help her because her cousin, who he has a thing for, is coming to town. She's going to set him up. It's whoring out your cousin, but okay. So they get it all fixed up. She say, hey, Kate, we got it all done, and I need to start decorating for when I do it. And she's like, oh, I changed my mind. Kate's like, I changed my mind. I'm going to be the vampire queen, and you're going to be a clown. Make balloon animals. That's when you realize. And she also keeps bashing Dias de los Muertos. Like, oh, we need that stupid stuff. She said it at me. And so, like, Miranda shows up with the stuff for it, and Miranda's parents show up, so she's all nice and kissy ass, like, oh, hello, Mr. Sanchez, Mrs. Sanchez, kiss the butt, kiss the butt, kiss the butt. As soon as they leave, though, put that stuff in the table in the corner, right? And they point out a sacred tamale. That's very important. Tamale chicken, because they're watching their weight, apparently. Let me tell you something. Chicken is not any lighter meat than beef. I know they say that red meat is bad for you, but meat is meat, and you're still gonna get the same kind of. I mean, you get more protein from chicken, I guess, but you still get protein from beef and pork. Just saying. But I shouldn't be drinking out of this. Oh well. Yeah. So Matt, earlier in the episode, I forgot to mention, wants to put together a costume, and he's like, "Can I use spaghetti sauce? You know, blood." She's like, "No, that's for dinner tonight." "Can I use this caviar stuff?" And us adults watching this, even when I was a kid, I knew, no, that's expensive shit. There's stuff back down in them. He's like, "No, that's for your father and I tonight." And he's like, "You got caviar for us tonight?" "Well, yeah, I figured kids would be done trick-or-treating by 7:30. I'm like, what kids are done trick-or-treating by 7:30? I don't know if it's like a thing, but usually we go to like 9 back in the day. Back then in 2001, but no, the kids are done trick-or-treating by 7:30, and then you and I can have alone time. I'm like, well, if that's the case, why couldn't you take Matt trick-or-treating till 7:30? Well, then you wouldn't have that. And then take him to the party, because while they're having their alone time, the party is still going on. So they could have taken Matt trick-or-treating till 7:30, dropped him off at the party, and then gone back to have romantic times. And that would have worked out better. Then what happens? I'm going to quickly go through the B plot. The B plot, we keep cutting back to the parents are trying to have romance times, and they keep getting interrupted by... it's basically the same B plot as in the Brotherly Love episode I reviewed a few years ago. Only they don't get hung from the door. They get a chicken pot pie in the face. And it's really only one guy that shows up, because it's like they're trying to have romantic times. And then kid shows up and he's like, "Oh, I already gave a candy." No, you didn't. Trick or treat. Yeah, I remember you earlier. I gave him my last candy bar. Wasn't me. Trick or treat. And he's like, give him something. He goes, I don't want any candy left. So they give him the chicken pot pie. And then later, when they open the door, he throws a chicken pot pie in his face. Like, oh, give kids love that or whatever. And he's like, well, they're not fond of chicken pot pie though. But yeah, and then it all culminates with Miranda's parents showing up to drop off her sleeping bag. Because back in the days, what you did, you didn't just have a spare blanket laying around, I guess. And they get water and oats in their face. I think we should have called. That's how the episode ends, by the way. But anyway, more than that. Back to the main plot. The party starts kicking off, and Gordo is very attracted to Kate in her vampire queen outfit. But teenagers, what are you gonna do? And then Matt eats the sacred tamale. And, oh, you angered the spirits! You angered the spirits, and his lemonade turns from regular lemonade color to black. And when they come across this, Keisha doesn't believe that it's anything magical. She's like, oh, we'll just get rid of the lemonade and start serving fruit punch. Which comes in handy later, I guess. But, like, she didn't know that would. Anyway. And then Matt disappears, and they can't find him but dust. And Miranda keeps going, oh, that's Matos, whatever she says. The dust of the dead or whatever. And, like, his little dangling eye is in there. What happened to the sausages he said he was going to use? And as soon as he said, what about these sausages? I went, Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages? I've not reviewed that movie, and I don't intend to anytime soon, so don't even try to ask about it. I don't want to, Sam I am. I got your baby. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Happens all the time. Happens to me all the time. Ever happened to you? Happens to me. So then it all just sort of starts to break down because this confused me. Okay, because first they show the two little dolls of the Dias de los Muertos, the man and the woman, the bride and the groom. And earlier you see the eyes glow, but no one else sees it. It's just for the audience. And then Lizzie sees them just disappear because she looks, and they're on the table. Someone walks by and they're gone. And she goes, Kate, did you move those dolls? I'm like, you literally saw them disappear when someone walked by. How could she have done that? And it also doesn't make sense what we learn later either. But I digest. So after Matt disappears, Gordo disappears. He's been bashing Dias de los Muertos all night. Turns out he's stuck in the little burger boy bobblehead thingy that crashes to the floor, and Gordo's dead now. Yep. And then Lizzie pops out, now a clown zombie, and starts chasing after Kate. They go to hide, but it doesn't work, and eventually Miranda convinces her, oh, there's a ritual you have to do to cleanse the spirit. You need dirt and blood. Where are we going to get that? Or you can use the fruit punch that they pulled out of their... We'll get there. The fruit punch and the cake. So they run back to the gym, and she dunks her head in the fruit punch and covers her head in cake. She's like, no, you gotta do the dance of the dead. Hop on one foot and cluck like a chicken. Or caw. And then you have to pat yourself on the head and spank your bottom. As Matt pops out from behind her and says that. She does it. And then Lizzie goes, and I say, Lizzie, I'm sorry. Yeah, it turns out, smile, you're on candid camera. We got you. Yeah, it's all a trick. And what about the giant bride and groom? It's Miranda's parents. Okay, what's with the glowing eyes that only the audience can see? How did the dolls disappear right before Lizzie's eyes? It makes no sense. I expected when I remember when I watched this when I was younger, I expected it to reveal that there was real spirits, but they don't. No, it's just the parents. Revenge. Do you know the Klingon proverb that says revenge is a dish best served cold? Yes. It's not a Klingon proverb either, but okay. What he said that in the movie, but it. Yep. I already told you how the episode ends. We get bloopers. Yeah, it was all a trick. I do like Kate's response when they take the heads off and it's the parents. She goes. And I like Gordo comes out. Help me, help me. Yeah, it's all a trick. Revenge. That's what's for dinner. There you go. How about the revenge line, not the booger I just blew into my thing. Anyway, yeah, that's how it ends. Still holds up. Still pretty good. The only thing was the question with the disappeared, the glowing eyes, and I don't know. Also, I know that Matt was in on it, but something that crossed my mind was, if you're not supposed to touch the tamale, why not put a sign, do not touch tamale, not for eating. Something. Not that a bunch of middle school kids would listen, mind you, but still. And I'd like to know when they cooked this up, because Lizzie didn't want Matt to be there. All of a sudden, he's in on it. Right? And then, for the punch, okay, they must have deliberately messed with the lemonade so that she would bring out the punch. So that she would have to dump her face into it. That's probably the only reason why they did that. So, yeah. So what are your thoughts on this episode? You can also make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.